She pressed her forehead against the cold window and counted her breaths so she wouldn't cry. The car smelled like old smoke and fear. Her hands were shaking, but she knew she couldn't panic. Panic was loud. Panic got you hurt. What she did next would have to be quiet, brave, and kind of impossible. Outside, the road stretched on under the afternoon sun. And then she saw them. A group of bikers rumbling into view, leather jackets flashing, engines roaring like thunder. Most people would have been scared of them. But in that moment, they were the only hope she had left. Before we continue, if you love powerful, true-style stories that remind us there's still goodness in this world, make sure to subscribe to True Story Tales. Hit the like button if this story moves you, and leave a comment sharing what kindness means to you. Your support helps us bring more stories like this to life. The girl's name was Lily. She was 14 years old, small for her age, with a soft voice and a habit of trusting people too easily. That trust was what got her into trouble. It was supposed to be a short ride. A man had offered to take her closer to her aunt's house after her phone died at a bus stop. He smiled, he seemed normal, and Lily didn't want to bother anyone. Within minutes of getting into the car, she knew something was wrong. The man missed the turn, then another. When she asked where they were going, his smile disappeared. He told her to sit still. His voice wasn't loud, but it was cold. Lily felt her stomach drop. She thought about screaming, but they were already on a long stretch of highway with no houses in sight. She remembered something her mom once told her, "If you can't run, make yourself seen." So Lily watched. She listened. She waited. About 20 minutes later, traffic slowed near a gas station. That's when she saw them. 5 motorcycles pulled in together, chrome shining, jackets covered in patches. They laughed loudly, one of them clapping another on the back. They looked free, strong, real. The man driving cursed under his breath. Lily's heart started pounding so hard she thought he'd hear it. She couldn't scream. He'd stop her. She couldn't open the door. It was locked, so she did the only thing she could think of. She pressed her hands together like she was praying and tapped the window 3 times. Slow, deliberate. Then she locked eyes with one of the bikers and mouthed the words, "Help me." The biker froze. His name was Mike. He was in his late 40s, a father of 2 and a mechanic back home in Ohio. He'd seen a lot in his life. Fights, accidents, bad choices. But something about that girl's eyes hit him like a punch to the chest. They weren't playing around. They were terrified. Mike nudged the biker next to him, a big guy named Sam with a gray beard and a gentle laugh. "You see that?" he asked quietly. Sam followed his gaze. He went still too. The car started to pull away. Mike didn't think twice. He revved his engine and rolled forward, blocking the car's path out of the station. Sam and the others followed, surrounding the vehicle in a loose circle. Not aggressive, just present. The man inside panicked. He tried to reverse, but another bike slid behind him. People started looking. Phones came out. Mike walked up to the driver's side window and tapped on it, calm as could be. "Everything okay here?" he asked. The man snapped back, telling him to mind his own business. But his voice cracked. His hands shook. Lily raised her hands again. This time, she made a small X with her fingers, a silent signal she'd learned in school. "I need help." Sam saw it. He stepped closer and raised his voice so others could hear. "Sir, why does that young girl look like she's about to pass out?" That's when the man made his mistake. He tried to drive forward. Mike slammed his hand on the hood. "No," he said, firm but steady. "You're not going anywhere." Someone yelled to call the cops. Another biker already had his phone out. The man bolted from the car, trying to run. He didn't get far. 2 bikers blocked him, not touching him, just standing in his way until police arrived. Lily sat there, frozen, tears finally spilling down her cheeks. Mike opened the passenger door slowly and crouched down so he was at her eye level. He took off his helmet and set it aside. "Hey," he said gently, "you're safe now, okay?" She nodded, unable to speak. He offered her his jacket. It was warm and smelled like leather and engine oil. Lily wrapped herself in it like armor. When the police arrived, the truth came out quickly. The man had a history. Lily had escaped something much worse than she could even understand yet. At the station, while officers took statements, Lily sat quietly in a chair. Sam brought her a bottle of water. Another biker bought her a candy bar from the vending machine. No one rushed her. No one talked down to her. They just stayed. When her aunt finally arrived, crying and shaking, Lily ran into her arms. She looked back once and saw the bikers standing awkwardly by the door, unsure if they should leave. Lily let go of her aunt and walked over to them. "Thank you," she said softly. "I was really scared." Mike swallowed hard. "We were scared too," he admitted. "But you were very brave." Months later, Lily wrote a letter. She sent it to the biker club's garage address she'd found online. In it, she talked about how she was doing better now, about how she wanted to become a social worker someday, about how she used to think kindness only looked one way, but now she knew better. Mike read that letter out loud to the group, his voice breaking. You see, kindness doesn't always come dressed the way we expect. Sometimes it roars in on motorcycles. Sometimes it has tattoos and rough hands and a heart that refuses to look away. Those bikers didn't think twice. They didn't ask if it was their problem. They didn't worry about how it might look. They saw a child in need, and they chose to act. And she learned that day that even in the darkest moments, strangers can become protectors. That a small signal, a quiet plea, and the courage to ask for help can change everything. So the next time you see something that feels off, don't ignore that feeling. And the next time someone reaches out, even silently, remember this story. Kindness doesn't always fix the world, but sometimes it saves a life. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who needs a reminder that good people are still out there. And until next time, keep your eyes open, your heart brave, and your kindness ready.